Welcome to another episode of E-Smoke Drink, a special episode. I say that every time because every time I crack open an awesome whiskey, it's a special fucking time. So, today I'm reviewing Rare Malts Mannochmore, 22 years old. A little interesting thing about this is that this was distilled 3 years after the distillery was established, according to the label. If you don't know much about the Rare Malts, it's one of the most coveted range of bottlings out there because it is distilled in the 70s, an era lost in modern time, and lost it definitely is. Only a handful of distilleries today have retained the heritage of what they do, from malting to distilling to the kiln to to everything. So when you have a Rare Malt bottling distilled in the 70s, bottled in the 90s usually, and opened 20 or 30 years later, it is an exciting time. It is an exciting time. In fact, we have a game now at our tastings that who can get the cork out without breaking it. It's very hard. But this time we did get the cork out without breaking it. But just to be safe, I've replaced it. So you're probably looking at it. It's not the wooden cork because I've replaced the cork for those OCD sleuths out there. But let's get nosing. And if you haven't seen my Rare Malts reviews before, I'm going to put it up here so you can click on it and you can open a new window and watch them after you watch these, because it is absolutely unique in terms of flavor profile and just sensation. I can actually smell this from this far. Potent as hell. 60.1%, potent as hell. There is no restraint. Unhindered, full glory of the spirit. Oh my golly. The smell of Rare Malt is always so delicious. I've had so many Mannochmores before, independently bottled in recent time, but every time I have a Rare Malt, comparing it to recent time, it is just something else. There is no comparison to it. Immediately I get that strange sootiness. And I get that from really old-fashioned whiskies, but whiskies specifically from the 70s, early 80s era. Some have told me they used coal, wood to dry the malt in the kilns. Some tell me that it's residual peat and the coal. Right now, a lot of people use gas. Look, not entirely sure, but it's got that old-fashioned sootiness, followed directly, like immensely, by a green apple skin, apple syrup, like an apple sour liqueur, peppermint. Oh wow, the smell is just woo, just gets you in the nose. You have to let your nose acclimatize. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm getting floral, fruity, but I'm talking, I can smell the viscosity, saturated sugar syrup. Look at the viscosity. It's just like, it's just hugging the glass. It's just hugging the glass. Oh, but that's fragrant. It is potent, fragrant, completely off balance. It's just, that's what I love about it. It's just in your face flavor. A slight herbaceousness. I'm getting honeysuckle, honey, liquid honey. I'm getting pine cone resin, roasted pineapples, unripe pineapples, a hint of smoke in the background. I can't put my finger on it, but that sootiness is there as well, but a hint of smoke. Quite a heavy metallic note to it as well, like copper. Like I can smell copper. You know when you touch copper, I can smell that. A bit of brass. Oh, the nose is just so complex and interesting, and it just completely just overpowers your mind. It's awesome. A little licorice. Oh wow, excellent. Let's sip. Holy moly. It's flavor, sweetness, followed by fire, followed by a tight grip on the palate, and then followed by sweetness, flavor, earthiness. That is the power of Rare Malts. Nothing I have ever had compares to the sensation of a Rare Malt spirit. And I don't know what that is. It must be the style, the era of distilling, but there's something about Rare Malt I'm a huge fan. But I'm getting a direct sweetness. I'm getting candied orange, floral notes, definitely floral notes, honeysuckle. I'm getting a honey sweetness. I'm getting a burnt sugar, a burnt brown sugar. The second sip, now we're talking. The second sip, my mouth is acclimatized. Wow. I'm getting tarragon. I'm getting aniseed. Just a little bit, not too much. I'm getting a sweetness like honey, a slight bitterness, like a candied orange bitterness. I'm getting a white pepper spice. I'm getting a ginger burn. I'm getting a hint of smoke on the aftertaste. It's like someone's taking my tongue and just plastering it with flavor and heat. And the finish is just so phenomenally long. It's just so long, it's so viscous, it's oily, the texture is heavy, it's thick. I'm getting a stony sensation now, the taste, like a gritty stone. And then I'm getting that just the perfect amount of oak. Just not so heavily oaked, not heavily tannin at all. Just a perfect amount of oak. Oh man, I'm telling you, if you ever get the privilege of drinking a Rare Malts, do it. Do it. Buy a bottle, keep it for a special occasion, like when the borders open up after COVID. That's a special occasion, do it. Wow. Sign of a good whiskey, sign of a great bottling is every sip is a progression in itself. I'm getting a slight bitterness. The bitterness is coming through. More of a pith of a citrus. I'm getting more medicinal. Less floral. Smoke is more prominent now. My tongue is just coated in this flavor. I can't get rid of it. I can't get rid of it without rinsing it with water. It is absolutely fantastic. Wow. Yeah, I can't articulate enough the flavor of a Rare Malts. Is nothing like any other bottling, in my opinion. It is so novelty. It is so different. It is so impactful. Like, it's just a sledgehammer. It's just a sledgehammer. There's no refinement to it. It's just in your face flavor, and that to me is fantastic. You know, I liken it having, you know, like a European style, English style butter chicken, or an Indian style butter chicken, tikka masala type dish. You just get this overwhelming flavor, and if your palate's not used to it, you could say that, oh, it's just too burny. That's because it probably is, but that's the trick with whiskey, I think, is independently bottled whiskey. You need to give your palate a chance to actually progress into that cask strength higher ABV, because your palate does change cells every few weeks, and you need to acclimatize that. It's almost an acquired taste, and if you don't acquire that taste, you'll never fully appreciate it. And you're probably thinking, why do people like this? It's just burny. Well, that's because, you know, in my opinion, an assessment, big liquor companies, they tend to focus on mass-produced liquor, so they condition your palate to drink 40 to 46%. Now, when you think about it, this is 60%, 60.1%. That is a lot. That's a lot. That's 25% more than your average whiskey as a general minimum. So that is absolutely phenomenally big jump of alcohol. But when you do get to acclimatize yourself, you will get to appreciate the cask strength, and wow, like, this is just absolutely phenomenal. Would I buy this again? Yes, I would. I would definitely buy this again. I would do filthy things to get one of these again. Unfortunately, it's not so easy to find, but I would, hands down. Cigar pairings. This is a luxurious whiskey because of age, because of the release date, and because of demand. it'll cost you a lot. I mean, I'm talking several $100s. It'll cost you, maybe even more. So I would pair this with a phenomenally premium cigar. Why? Because just for the sake of it, why not? If you're going to fork out for a bottle like this, then you might as well fork out for a premium cigar. A Behike, an Exclusiva Reserva, a Cuban, or an Opus Feral Pig, Flying Pig. I'd just get something premium, like even a nice Padron I think would be fantastic with this whiskey, because I like to match luxury for luxury. That's just something that I like to do. Until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. Make sure you hit subscribe.